slideshow. Okay, so I'm giving a short little talk on a project that's been going on in the IETF for almost a year now, I think. Introduction. So at the IETF meeting about a year ago, during the operations and network management area meeting, there was some discussion about how what the IETF was doing in terms of network management didn't really match what the network operators wanted to do. What was decided to do was try to do some sort of outreach where the IETF went out to the network operators and said, okay, what do you guys really want? Let us know so we can build it. Purpose of this are to help set agenda for future work in the IETF, why waste time doing something that no one's going to use. And also to help provide recommendations to vendors on what they ought to be focusing on. So there have been all sorts of meetings held with various operator groups. Last May in NANOG, there was a meeting with the network operators, a couple IETFs. We went out to the RIPE meeting in Prague last fall and the USNIX LISA conference in San Diego, which was actually very interesting because that was more of an enterprise operators environment as opposed to an ISP operators. But it surprised us that many of their comments were the same as what we've been hearing from the ISPs. Notably, though, that these were not Microsoft operators, so they might have different sets of requirements, but won't go there. There is a current internet draft, which is already a bit out of date, and Bill has promised a revision real soon now. The revision is mainly going to revise the document structure so that it's less free-flowing and more organized, and include some of the latest thinking as a result of the last couple of meetings. The goal of all this is to take this document, try to get consensus on it, send it through the IETF last call procedure so we can publish that as an informational RFC. At that point, the area directors can refer to it when they're deciding what to do, and vendors can refer to it when they're trying to decide what to build. Here's some of the requirements that we've been talking about that should go in there. At the top of the list is ASCII communications. People like to type in ASCII. They don't like to type in binary or ASN1 or anything like that. So there needs to be a nice common way of getting to a box in ASCII, type commands, you see things back. It would be nice if there was a common syntax and vocabulary for common things like setting up an interface and turning on BGP and all that, and not to have each vendor implement their own. Security needs to be built in. Something like SSH, although the document's not going to specify a specific protocol. That was something we decided on in the last meeting. But security has to be a requirement. One that keeps coming up is you have to be able to ask a device what its configuration is, and it should be able to tell you. One would think that's a no-brainer, but it's not. Some open issues still are, do we tailor the output so a human can read it or so a computer can read it, or both? And if both, how do we do it? Are there two separate paths, two separate output streams you set a mode, or you try to somehow come up with the least common denominator that works for both? Current discussion going on is how can we make sure that we don't make it difficult for large networks to automate their configurations. And another open issue is the bulk commit, like the Juniper's commit feature. That's something that's really nice, but is it something that we should actually specify in a requirements document like this? So, the main reason I'm up here is to ask you all to help. Please read the draft. The slides aren't on the web yet, for which I apologize. I got them in late, but they'll be up in the next day or two, so you'll get the link in there. Join the mailing list, ops&mrequest at ops.ietf.org, where we can argue about this stuff. And please, if you have an opinion, contribute it. The more input we get, the better the document will be. If you want to talk to any of us, there's me. Document editor is Bill Woodcock. Randy and Barrett are the area directors in the IETF. We're coordinating all this, and the mailing list information is there. And again, these slides will be on the web pretty soon. Thank you. Any questions? Okay.